actually took the time to read through that case. Now, again, I am taking his word for it when he says that, and I have not done my own due diligence. What I can say is that it is utterly absurd.
People like them can't stand the fact that when he says, grab her by the we're like, so?
I literally couldn't have cared less about that.
So?
Like, the media, what is this actually about? Now it's about money laundering? Is it about a webcam business? Is it about human sex trafficking? Is it about all three, according to the public? Why does the media hate these two men so much when we know there are worse villains? So who is Emma Gabby? First, I'll tell you who she is, according to the Tate brothers, who is suing her.
Extremely weird that you see these men who are begging for a female president. I mean, it just feels gay.
It's gay.
It's gay.
It's very gay.
I want a woman to be my boss.
According to the Tate brothers,
I want to go to fucking jail. I want to go back to the jail cell.
Put me in jail.
so any person that unexpectedly galvanizes men that like embody true natural masculinity is going to be attacked by the Matrix. I never understood why you were so, it made no sense to me. It's like, I met you with George. Yeah. According to the Tate brothers, now again, I am taking his word for it when he says that, and I have not done my own due diligence.
Money laundering. This is disgusting. Disgusting. We have children. This is disgusting. Thank you.
How does that clip make you feel? Now, I have not looked at these 35 more victims. I've been in communication with him. Now, again, I am taking his word for it when he says that, and I have not done my own due diligence. What I can say is that it is utterly absurd.
Is President Trump or the administration, do they have any plans to intervene in the extradition process for the Tate brothers?
No.
Okay, when it comes to the Andrew and Tristan Tate case, there has been a meticulous silence from parties who have allegedly defended them, one behind the scenes and one completely in front of the scenes, fighting the battle like it is in their house. But suddenly, crickets moved in to their compound. I am talking about Candace Owens and Donald J. Trump and his family, to say the least. Because when Andrew Tate was first of all charged with all of these criminal charges before in Romania, Candace Owens was the first person who came out defending him swinging. At least Tucker Carlson did an interview which he didn't push back on anything he said, but after that he did not defend the Tates the same way, with the same veracity that Candace Owens did.
So you want me to believe, you want me to essentially just, I guess, defy all of my sensibility for a moment and believe that it's Andrew and Tristan Tate that require cooperation between 2 and maybe even 3 European countries to bring them down because they are just so concerned about what these men plausibly did back in 2012.
And it's the same thing according to what so many putting together these things have been saying. Donald J. Trump also is one of the people who was able to make it possible that the Tates received some of the nice treatment they received internationally, and they were able to move from Romania to the US traveling without any kind of disruption.
An explosive new report in The New Yorker reveals disturbing levels of coordination between the Trump administration and notorious sex trafficker Andrew Tate, including using the influence of the US government to protect him and his brother Tristan from serious criminal charges.
And I'm very close to the Trump family. I know them well, and I spoke to Barron after the incident, and I look forward to, once I am free, being with Donald Trump in person and reminding him that he's a bulletproof badass.
This is the attorney for President Trump, somebody who has been a fighter for the America First Party. Her name is Alina Habba, and she joins us live right now.
Hi.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice to meet you.
Formal charges against Andrew Tate include human trafficking of minors.
So you mean to tell me that these dudes got in trouble first, then all of a sudden turned MAGA in order for them to protect them from, they literally telegraphed the entire MAGA. These were the people that you said we needed to stand up to world leaders.
Exactly, Reese Waters. Exactly. Shout out to Reese Waters for putting this together so nicely. The truth is, these brothers got in trouble, then joined the MAGA movement, and all the members of the MAGA movement who were supporting them and defending them claim they are defending them because the world leaders are all fucked up and we have to use them to help them fight the world leaders, because these are the only men who could defend the world from the world leaders, because they are righteous, they are amazing, and they are also conservative and Christian. Yes, so we have individuals like Candace Owens, who was perpetuating, and she was at the top of the echelons of those who were defending Andrew Tate and his brother. And then suddenly something changed. The cat has cut her tongue, and the Trump administration just stated categorically, as you can hear, that they have no intentions in intervening in the Tate situation and their extradition to the UK. And just a quick update, they were programmed to be in court yesterday, which they said they waived their rights to be present at court because allegedly Andrew Tate has been going through the case of a running bottom. Allegedly, he has been saying that he drinks so much terrible water, he's complaining so much for a man who is said to be such a masculine man. I guess the only thing about his masculinity that he can brag about are his cars. Because when he was having one of those interviews with Candace Owens, where Candace Owens was running cover for him stronger than he was running for himself, he said his idea of masculinity is having many cars.
But now they're going to come along and say, no, that's not masculinity. Masculinity is not trying to be the best version of yourself and proving to the world that you can do what others can't do. The reason I bought 65 cars is I can put them in a row and it looks funny. Yeah. Haha, look, I can. Peacock, look what I can do. Ha. That's it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to go any deeper than that. I don't have to drive them. I can't even name most of them. Mm-hmm. But they've now convinced you that true masculinity is being so sure within yourself that you don't have to prove anything to anybody. Well, if you don't have to prove anything to anybody, then you don't have any capability. So you're actually a useless idiot.
Candace, on the other hand, said,
that's how I feel. Even men that are straight, I'm like, but you act like a homosexual. And it was one of those things that people were asking me, you know, I didn't actually feel like, and this is kind of surprising because it was the UK, that I even met real men until I went to the UK. Like, it was very hard for me in America. I will say, like, I was in New York City, so there's obviously homosexual straight men, you know what I'm saying here. And then I get to the UK and then I meet my husband and like, he hunts, he shoots, he knows how to skin an animal. And I'm like, okay, that's what I want. Like, I want a masculine man.
Americans in the chat, I will need your help here, because Candace said she didn't see a masculine man, not one, in America who didn't act gay until she went to the UK. There she found a man who hunts, who schemes animals. But in the US, all of y'all gay and fake bitches. So please, the people in America, please drop in the comment section and let me know. Are they all done in America? Yeah? And also, just on that same point on masculinity, Andrew Tate also mentioned something about he doesn't want his woman having a male best friend.
Self to nobody, and I'm just secure in myself. Well, you're one of the sheep being led to the slaughter because you have absolutely no capabilities whatsoever. They'll say a real man, I got in arguments on podcasts all the time. They say a real man's secure and lets his girl have male friends. I'm like, there's a male friend line. Sure, there's a line. Hi, how are you? Boom, boom. If my girl's going out on dates with some dude, like, this is clown world. No. It's peak clown world.
Because that's just gay. That's not masculine. And Candace agrees. With that logic, is Candace Owens' husband then gay? Because he has allowed Candace to have a male best friend. She says Charlie Kirk was her best friend. So if we are following what Candace agrees with, and she agrees with Andrew Tate's words, and Andrew Tate is best friends with her husband.
Andrew is a great guy. He really is, and he's a wonderful guy in many ways.
And Andrew Tate says a man who allows his wife to have a male best friend or a male friend at all is gay and fake. And she agrees with that. Then we can just surmise, you know? We're trying to ascertain the words coming out of their mouths so we understand them better. Her idea of masculinity is a man who can shoot, run around, skin animals, and be a masculine man like a real original primate man. But Andrew Tate's version was a man who has several cars running in dozens. So I don't even know if they understand the basic concepts of what a masculine man is to themselves, but it seems they agree on one one thing: a masculine man. What a masculine man is what they cannot seem to agree on, which I understand. These are completely two idiots who should not be in the same scenario. These are people with different set of values who should not be defending the same kind of things. But because of the media sham we see happening day in and day out, we have Candace Owens pretending to be friends with Andrew Tate, and this is the thing that is so stressful to watch sometimes. Andrew Tate has never even made an effort to call this woman's name properly. He calls her Candace.
Candace.
Candace. And Candace's breathing is because she is a woman and because she is black.
And she's never even thought about saying, my friend, whom I'm defending with all this trafficking and all the kind of heinous acts out here, can you even try to pronounce my name a little bit properly? No, he's never cared, and she has never probably cared. Anyway, like I've said in the video I did talking about the cover Candace Owens runs for big organizations, countries, as well as individuals, she will run cover for anything as long as the price is right. Remember, just a few years back, last year actually, when she was defending Andrew Tate, she seemingly complained that Andrew Tate's devices were seized when he arrived at the airport, and she said, what the hell is this? Are we in Russia? But then, just last month, she went to Russia, and right now she tells everyone, you should go to Russia.
I encourage literally every person in the world to visit Russia.
Because every Russian is living a vida loca. And the funny thing is how much she has switched. And if you go to her Twitter page now, or is X, now has Russia, her trip to Russia, pinned to her page. That tells you how important it is for her that everyone knows that she is now vibing with Russia, that, you know, she's vibing hard. I'm working on the part 2 of that video when we are talking about her running cover for organizations, people, and institutions, and how she does it and how her husband uses her to do it. And I'm hoping to do that video with me live on camera soon. So guys, like I've said, I'm working my way into putting my face in front. Yes. So we are seeing how Candace Owens is running cover for Andrew Tate in the past. She was defending him with everything. And do you know the funny thing? Every time she defended him, what she had to go on were Andrew Tate's words.
Regarding their Bucharest case, their case in Romania, it is very much that circumstance on the basis of everything that I have meticulously crawled through. Now, I will tell you what both Andrew and Tristan have tweeted since they've been raided. Andrew tweeted this first: no Zionists, I am not sorry.
When she came to defame the victim, whom she claimed, Gabby, she claimed was the worst human being she could have seen. That was a child she was defaming, because that child was actually abused by another predator who was convicted. Candace Owens came to her platform, defended the predator and defended Andrew Tate, and said, according to the Tate brothers, this is who Gabby is.
To offer you the most thorough accounting of the exact charges that face the Tate brothers and my belief of why they are going to beat these charges. So who is Emma Gabby? First, I'll tell you who she is according to the Tate brothers, who is suing her.
Yes, I am going to tell you who a victim is as a bad person according to the people who are under investigation due to that victim's accusations. And another very shady thing Candace always does is she will come and pretend that she wants to give the truth about what is in the case.
To offer you the most thorough accounting of the exact charges that face the Tate brothers and my belief of why they are going to beat these charges.
But this is what she does. She will come and tell you, she wants to tell you what is happening in the case, but she'll just pick a victim's name, and then she comes and defame that victim according to whose words?
So who is Emma Gabby? First, I'll tell you who she is according to the Tate brothers, who is suing her.
Meanwhile, ignoring the entire case files and the accusations of the victim to the Andrew Tate brothers, and rather trying to condemn the victim according to what the Andrew Tate brothers have told her she should use to condemn that victim. And sometimes it's so telling how bad they are at this that she will inevitably snitch on herself and even the Tate brothers with how much nonsense they are spewing out. Because it is just unbelievable that this woman claims she's Christian in any world, even on Mars. She should never even dare after doing things like this. Like, seriously.
The first case involves a man who I am not going to name, and the only reason I'm not going to name him is because at the time of the allegations against him was in fact a minor, and that of course is relevant. So we just want to be ethical here and not expose his name.
Hi, my name is Keith Fox.
So that people can look up the case because, as I said, she was underage at the time. Essentially, it was believed that she was having sexual relations with him, and the courts found that to be true. And he is now been sentenced to 24 years in prison.
Liberation and freedom. And it's just a great place to be.
Throughout this episode, by the way, you're going to hear some beeps when I'm discussing this case. If I accidentally say his name,
my name is Keith Fox.
We intend to just beep it out. Performed deviant sexual acts in the bedroom, such as urinating on her during intercourse. We intend to just beep it out. Again, just to protect the fact that she was, in fact, a minor at the time of these accusations. Named who is, but it all begins with. So who is? If you hear this, and I know that you have a lawyer, if you would like to sit on this show and detail what happened to you, I will give you a platform. And I mean that. The only reason I'm not going to name him,
my name is Keith Fox,
is because at the time of the allegations against him, was in fact a minor. I will realize how weird it is that a 30-year-old wanted to have sex with you when you were 14, and that of course is relevant. So we just want to be ethical here and not expose his name.
Hi, my name is Keith Fox.
And I blame the American parents for not putting the fear of God very much more into their kids, because in Africa, there are certain things you just don't say. Even if you're not a Christian kind of child who prays and worships and goes to church every Sunday, there are things you're scared to do because your parents from childhood instill the fear of God in you. They make you know if you do or say certain things, fire from heaven will just burn you down. You'll be burnt alive, and there will be nothing left for you. And even if you're not burned immediately, the fire waiting for you, it's massive. I think the fear of God needs to be instilled into people at some point again, so that people can at least, even if you're no longer Christianing, there are certain things that at the end of the day, you just tell yourself, I can't do this, even if I'm not Christianing. Even if I'm not part of the Christendom, I cannot do this because this is just not, no, fire go burn me. Jesus. Yes, no, it doesn't matter. And 1 minute she will say she read the case files.
Like I actually took the time to read through that case. I have meticulously crawled through.
And then the next minute she tells you, oh no, I am telling you all of this shenanigans right here, right now. It is according to the Tate brothers, according to what they said.
Now, again, I am taking his word for it when he says that, and I have not done my own due diligence. According to the Tate brothers, now I have not looked at these 35 more victims. I've been in communication with him. Now, again, I am taking his word for it when he says that. How does that clip make you feel?
She will come to her platform and tell you, hey, listen, guys, listen. I read the case files and I want you all to go read the case files, because if she read the case file even once, I'm sure she would have understood certain things. But she doesn't care about the case files. Remember, there were many times I had to debunk her on her own cases because it seems she did not even know what she's being sued for and what she's not being sued for. Her own cases with the Macrons, she was constantly lying about it, and we had to be out here in the streets helping the public know exactly what's going on in that case, because Candace comes and lies and pretends that what is ongoing in her case is not exactly what is ongoing in her case. So she will come and tell the public, oh, I have read through the Andrew Tate case, and then she will present to you what the Tate brothers have said, either by video, by what she claims they told her behind the scene, or by a tweet they put out. She will not read to you the case files. No, she does not read the case files because she knows reading into those case files is going to damage everything she is there to do, which is what? Rehabilitate the images of the Tate brothers. But kudos to one particular creator who helped us read these files, and we also did our due diligence by reading these files and seeing the exact victims, the crimes they are being called out for, and why they have been harassed. Because Candace always says she cannot fathom, she doesn't understand why anyone is attacking the Tate brothers.
Men that like embody true natural masculinity is going to be attacked by the Matrix. I never understood why you were so, it made no sense to me. It's like, I met you with George years ago, and then suddenly I looked up and every single person was doing like an Andrew Tate is this video. And then I realized, oh, okay, after Dave Smith put that piece together for me, I'm like, he unexpectedly galvanized what would be the populist right.
Why anyone is against the Tate brothers? The Tate brothers are the cleanest things in her eyes. In fact, she says they are worse villains.
Why does the media hate these two men so much when we know there are worse villains?
Because according to Candace Owens, only two or only one thing can be right. We have to pick the worst villain, and that's the only villain we should look at. If someone killed one person and another person deleted 50 people, we should forget about the person who deleted one person and focus on the one who deleted 50. Because according to her, we should concentrate on the worst villain. There are worse villains out there. And she wants you to forget about what the Tates have done because there are worse villains out there. And this is the funny thing. She said she read through the case and predicted that Andrew Tate and the brother were going to be released, and that's why they were released, because there was no case. Meanwhile, she is misrepresenting why the Andrew Tate brothers were actually let go and released. They were released not because the case was wrong or because there was nothing there. They were released because the case was filed wrongly, and the judge asked the case to be refiled properly, and he is still under investigation in Romania. The case is not through. And when he was on Piers Morgan and he said everything was dismissed, everything was discharged, kudos to Piers Morgan for holding him to task and asking him, but no, this case is still ongoing in Romania, true or false? And he said yes, it's ongoing in Romania, and he had to diversify and start talking about rubbish. Oh, masculinity is in jail, crying about being in jail, and he's not able to drink sprinkling sweet beautiful water. I don't know if someone could have told him about the data, which he said he ignores completely. The data will tell you why you're in jail. You are not living a vida loca. You're not driving your sports cars. You're not living in your mansion. You're living in jail. Okay? In jail. C'est la prison. Ce n'est pas votre vacation. It's not, ce n'est pas ça. Et tu n'es pas dans ton bureau, tu es en prison. Et là-bas, personne s'en fout qui tu es, parce que à le moment, tu es un diable. Tu comprends maintenant? Oui, c'est comme ça. And also, Candace Owens will also pretend as if the fact that they have been let go and the investigation is still ongoing is just a telltale sign that there is nothing there. Was Jeffrey Epstein not let go the first time he was picked up and taken to the county? Was he not let go despite the fact that there were so many victims, and was he not given a sweetheart deal? He was, but that is because he was meeting with vis-a-vis a corrupt system, a system which Andrew Tate has stated many times in the past he intends to exploit with all his might as long as he is in trouble. And that is why he forged relationships with the Donald Trump and his family. And those relationships are starting to go sideways because the Trump seems not to want anything to do with him anymore. And speaking of the Trump family, they say like father, like son. Is the relationship between Trump's friends and his son's kinds of friends, like they pick the same kind of individuals? Is it just a Trump thing for them to continuously pick certain nefarious kind of characters and make them friends? Because I don't understand what's going on. Trump was friends with Epstein for a long time, in spite of everything he knew Epstein was up to. And also, now, Baron Tate, is Baron Trump, it should be Baron Tate actually. Baron decides he wants to make friends and he picks Andrew Tate. Ivanka Trump and her husband are friends with the Rothschilds family. It's a given right now. The Trump family is known for picking up the best kind of nefarious kinds of friends. And when you ask someone like Candace Owens how she supported him for so long, she doesn't give a care. She and Andrew Tate were supporting him when it fitted their narrative. And she said it herself. Who cares about grabbing them by the what? But right now, after she no longer cares for Trump and she and Trump are fighting, oh, now suddenly they're grabbing them by it's a big deal right now. But before she said, who cares? I literally didn't care. But right now, when she's fighting with Trump, it's a big deal. Same like the video I made the other day when I was talking about before she didn't care about what Ivanka Trump was doing, who she was friends with, and she knew that Ivanka Trump had been friends with the Rothschilds for a long time, a number of Rothschilds and their kind of activities. But you know, she didn't care then when she was smooching up with them, like she always said, having fun, living a vida loca. It didn't matter. But right now that she's fallen out with the Trump family, oh, out of a sudden, Candace has gained her sight and she can see that Ivanka Trump is friends with the Rothschilds family and they are vacationing with yacht around the world, and that's hurting her feelings. And she's suddenly seeing the human aspect of all the things they are doing and how that's going to hurt us as a whole world and society. But before, she didn't see shit. Her eyes saw nothing, heard nothing, didn't do anything. That's the kind of person we are working with, Candace Owens. And given that Candace Owens has said the only thing she trusts is Andrew Tate and Andrew Tate's brother's words, because she quotes them. She said, as Andrew Tate said, he doesn't give a care about data. She said, yeah, me too. I don't give a care about data. Data is for dumb people.
Built different. Don't care.
Andrew Tate said, I'm built different. Ooh, Candace always loves it so much. She puts it on her mark. I'm built different. Buy this shit.
I've showed you guys many times my podcast, my favorite clip on the internet this year, because it explains exactly my philosophy in life. It's the reason why we designed the second edition of the Standis Cups to say, don't care, built different.
And when she went to interview Andrew Tate to defend him and for them to gush on each other the whole time, she was advertising that mark. The mark that says built different, oh, is built different because Andrew Tate said it. And given that she decides that Andrew Tate's words are the only words that are gospel and true and verifiable to her, every other thing, including the case filings itself, doesn't matter because she doesn't trust any other thing. Why doesn't she trust these words of the Tate's brothers, them saying what they said?
I created a system that allowed me to convince girls to do this, allowed me to retain 100% control of their income, allowed me to make sure they were effective, because it's a super competitive industry. Don't think this is easy money. You're just going to put a girl on the camera and they're going to get rich straight away. No, it's very competitive and it's very difficult. I learned every tip and trick it takes to make sure a girl gets paid. I know how to make sure the girl can't run away. You cannot get a girl to work for you having fun. So the recruitment process is the same as the PhD course. You message them on Instagram. The PhD course is my recruitment system. You f the girl. After you f the girl, you do the PhD test. So yeah, on CobraTate.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm.
Clever.
And
Clever.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them. Because that's a completely different game as well. Mm-hmm. So I teach everything I know in there.
I'm glad to hear that you're not proud of the video. And I think that that's one of those things where I say that people don't allow you to grow up from things that you've done or said in the past. And this is obviously when you were operating a webcam business.
For 4 years, I ran a webcam studio, which people find very interesting. I had naked girls sitting on the internet talking to guys.
So you don't, do you do that still?
I have 3 girls who still work for me. There was a webcam company. I've had nothing to do with it for 10 or 11 years.
I always say I took the most liberal route to conservatism that there ever was. Yep. And so I'm just not so quick to judge people.
The only thing better than titties is gambling. So it makes me more money.
And there are so many more very heinous videos. I have shown them in previous videos that Andrew Tate is explaining explaining everything he does. The guy is literally screaming out everything he does, teaching other men how to say it. He is telling you, Candace Owens, these words are my own from my heart soul. But Candace don't want to hear. Candace will say everything under the radar, under the weather, under the sun, moon, stars, and this earth to defend that man. The man can't even defend himself. Candace is the cover girl for it. And another thing she couldn't stop talking about every time she defends him is all those things, the ones she has seen, which she will actually accept exist. They were 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Oh, really? Seriously? Oh, because it was said 12 years or 5 years or 3 years ago, it no longer matters. But let Candace Owens want to find out what your family did 200,000 years ago. She's going to find it out, and that's going to be the reason why modern civilization is crashing in 2026. But if you are her friend and you said something 2 months ago, she doesn't give a shit about it. Literally, she doesn't care, because it doesn't matter if you were carrying out trafficking, you were hurting people, you were doing anything, it doesn't matter. And she sat on her platform and said 2 of the women who have defended Andrew Tate are the baby mothers of their kids. And she's a Christian, right? Yes. She said that so happily. So funny. But if she had read through the files and really actually gone through the case, she would have noticed or realized that that girl Vivian was probably 14 or 15 when she started dealing with Andrew Tate, because Andrew Tate has said a couple of times a couple of things that made people to put 2 and 2 together, including a lawyer, to test that yes, Andrew Tate was dealing with this girl when she was still a minor. No, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Andrew Tate played around with a minor before. No, who cares? Andrew Tate is saying that this girl is defending her. She has a kid with the man. She is still in love with the man. What do you expect? Have you ever seen a victim who is still in love with their victimizer, who is going to say, no, my victimizer didn't do nothing, they are the best people in the whole wide world? Have you ever not seen that? Have you not heard about people who stick to the people perpetrating harm on them they are friends with? They stay close to them. Have you not seen it before? They defend them in public. You've not seen that before, Candace? Or all of a sudden you're now dumb? No, suddenly she is stupid. She doesn't understand anything. She doesn't understand that if someone was a minor, there is no consent to be given. No, she doesn't understand that. All of a sudden, oh, Candace is dumb. Oh, I'm so stupid. I don't know what's going on here. Andrew Tate said, this girl Gabby is a bad person, so I'm going to trust Andrew Tate's words. But when Andrew Tate said, I was with this girl Vivian, I've been with her for 6 years and she's currently 21, which when you do the math, it tells you that he started dealing with her when she was a minor. Who gives a shit? When Andrew Tate sits on a podcast and said, I am effing this 14, 15, or 16-year-olds, and then he suddenly realized, oh, that could be wrong to say it publicly. I should be doing it only privately, and ask, oh, what's the legal age here in the US? And they tell him, he said, nobody is talking like that when they are not playing around with minors. The only reason he's asking what is the legal age for him to do that is because he's playing with minors, and he wants to know which country he is currently in to know what is the age limit there, so he knows which one to say. So if he has played around with a 14-year-old, he's currently in the US, that 14-year-old thing will not matter. It will matter. But if he's currently in a country where, oh, it is okay for me to play around with this 14-year-old and hide it, yeah, he will do it. But why he's in the US, he pretended. And so Candace Owens, the fact that she cannot understand why people hate Andrew. Oh my God, she's so shocked. She's confused. And suddenly she's quiet. Candace, I am begging you. I have money on this shit. I need you to come out and defend your best body like you've always done. You always have an angle. Nothing has ever made you shy. Please don't be shy now. I need you to come out swinging, defend your best body like you've done all your life. And the Trump administration are suddenly saying, oh, they are not doing anything. But these are evidence showing that this administration has been fitting the bill to ensure that these people are safe politically, internationally, legally, and otherwise. But, well, I think the Trumps are done with this shit, with all the candidates and all the thing, and they want to concentrate on their billionaire, on their Rothschild kind of connections and relationships, and they are no longer into these podcasters. I think Trump is concentrating on trillionaires and Rothschild kind of elite kind of families these days. He no longer cares about podcasters. He's on his second term. What does he need the Candace Owenses for? That's the question. What does he need them for? He needs them for nada, because this second term is done and dusted, and he can go back to living his life. And many people are always wondering, why did Trump run for president? He was already rich. You don't run for president because you want to be rich. You run for the president of the United States because you want to gain power, the kind of power that will put you out of problems, the kind of problems Trump has been facing before he ran for president. Yeah. How many counts has he? 34? He has 34 felonies, right? Yeah, he's been charged with 34 felonies. So when you become president, and those felonies are the ones we see. Imagine if all of those Epstein files are released and we are to see the things him and his friends, including the Democrat, the Republicans, have been doing over the years with the Epsteins. Do you think he will be safe? But running for president helps him to prevent things like that from being released, and helps him to keep a certain level of power that protects him and his friends to a certain extent. So many people, nobody's running for president because they want to obtain money. It's the same question Andrew Tate was asking, why will he be trafficking women? He is rich, sir. And then the funny thing is this, he answered the question, why having an interview with Candace? He was inevitably talking about other politicians and powerful people, that they don't do anything for money. They do it for the power, and they do it for other reasons. And that is exactly why you did it.
And power absolutely corrupts. We're run by these people in the world now. They're born into these families, or they're so corrupted morally, but also financially. Money's not even real. We talk about a lot of things. People say, oh, it's all about the money. And I say that is such an optimistic view, that you believe it's all about the money, because it's not about the money. It's about controlling people, and it's about destroying their spirits. It's about destroying their souls. These people print money. Why do they need money? They print it. They don't have to make it. They just press a button. If you think they're doing things for money, then you don't understand how deep the rabbit hole goes. They don't actually care about money, which is why they destroyed the whole economy in the first place. They don't care about money. What they care about is making you comply. For the same reason a loser becomes a police officer. They're bullies, and they're cowards, and they have no actual innate power, and they're empty inside, and they don't believe in anything. And they want you to comply. They want you to obey. They want to intimidate you so they feel like they're something. That's why weak people in charge are so dangerous, because we all see what they do once they're weak.
Oh, Andrew, you mean people like this?
I want a virgin wife at 16 who's going to obey me.
What they care about is making you comply.
Show the camera your tattoo. What does it say?
Tate.
Why does it say Tate?
Because I'm his whore.
You are my whore.
And you said they did it because probably they were abused as children, or they have self-consciousness. They are people who hate themselves, and the best way for them to cope is to hate others and hurt others. And it's the same damn reason, because when you watch those videos of how he talks down to those women, the way he treats those women, you can tell this is not a man who is happy with his life. This is a man going through it. And Candace watched all of that, but because George Bollington Farmer told her, go in front of the camera and I want you to defend this man like your life depends on it, she wore her best dress, did her makeup, and came online and defended Andrew Tate like her goddamn life depended on it. And right now she's silent. What happened? We need to know. Please, I need to know your thoughts in the comment section. We will keep updating you on this and wondering what happened. Drop your thoughts and comments in the comment section.
The titty's out, and they were talking to fucking ice cold hustlers. We were taking their money, all of it. If they come and say, well, what kind of, all of it. We were fucking milking them dry. Women haven't got a clue how to famoose a dude. They don't have, because they rely on their looks. They don't have any of the intellect. They have no game, nothing.
There's some though. There's
nothing.
There's some.
Nah. You get a man with game and give him a female's body, a female avatar. He will fuck a guy up. I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all.
Feel bad or no?
Fuck no. Give a solitary fuck.
Did you tell like?
I don't give a fuck.
Spirit that animates Andrew Tate is very clear and very obvious, and it's not a malicious spirit at all.
And let me know what your thoughts are. And I cannot wait to be on video soon. Yes, I ordered some lights. They came and it was the wrong light and the wrong softbox, so I had to send it back. And I will be waiting for it to show up. If it doesn't show up on time, I think if August starts without it showing up on time, I'm just gonna go like that. You guys are gonna enjoy me, all my acne and my pretty face. Well, thank you guys for coming to the end of this, and until next time, bye.
And as we mentioned, the Romanian courts originally required the Tates to remain in that country as the cases were built against them, but then seemingly overnight back in February, they were seen on this plane headed to Florida. Your reporting links that shift to the relationships they cultivated with influential figures on the political right, to include members of Donald Trump's own family. What did you learn about those relationships?
Yeah. So Andrew and Tristan, they have joint American and British citizenship, but have been based in Romania since like the mid-2010s. And in 2022, they started to come under investigation. There ultimately have been under investigation in 3 countries in Romania, where they're accused of trafficking dozens of women into their business. And Andrew's been accused of they also have been accused, they're facing charges in Britain of and trafficking. They've also been under criminal investigation here in the United States. But remarkably, as they started to come under growing numbers of criminal investigations, they forged really close alliances with people on the American right, ranging from media figures like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens to members of the Trump family, first starting with Donald Trump Jr. and then with Barron Trump. And those, we found in the course of our reporting that those sort of strategic alliances culminated in their release from Romania in February of this year.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
How did that all happen? How did the U.S. involvement in their case ramp up after Trump's reelection?
So the prosecutors in Romania had barred the brothers from traveling. They've been arguing, as they've been investigating these brothers, that they pose a public risk and a flight risk, a public danger and a flight risk. And so they have repeatedly been seeking to confine them in the country. And that changed in February, when the prosecutors, an extraordinary order came down from the highest levels of the Romanian government, instructing prosecutors to reach a compromise with the brothers. And then those travel bans were lifted, which was something that the prosecutors did not want to do, according to our sources. And what we've learned is that that was really a culmination. Once Trump was reelected, there were supporters of the Tates here in the United States who ascended into the administration, including a special diplomatic envoy named Richard Grinnell, who we found through our reporting had at least 2 conversations with Romanian officials about the Tates case. And then within days of that second conversation, the order came down in Romania, ordering the compromise that led to the lifting of the travel bans. And we've been told that the Romanian prime minister believed that that would appease the Trump administration.
The New York Times reported last year that Andrew and Tristan Tate, who had been barred from leaving Romania, were allowed to travel to the United States after the Trump administration pressured Romanian authorities to lift their travel restrictions. Now that is fascinating. Not just close with the family, but actually getting the family to move on their behalf. I wonder how they were able to achieve that.
This investigation also revealed how embarrassingly easy it was for Tate to earn the loyalty of MAGA world, even as he was facing allegations of trafficking minors. After the 2016 election, Tate saw an opportunity. He started posting pro-MAGA content and messaging Donald Trump Jr. directly. It worked. He got an invitation to Trump Tower. After the visit, he posted a photo of him shaking hands with a grinning Trump Jr., writing, "The Tate family supports Trump fully, MAGA." By 2024, Tate was barred from leaving Romania while facing serious trafficking charges, but an election came closer and he saw another opportunity. He pumped out pro-MAGA content, mobilizing young men in such large numbers that Kamala Harris later named him a key factor in her defeat. During the campaign, Barron Trump had been tasked with reaching a young male audience, and Tate saw his way in. A close associate secured an invitation to Mar-a-Lago and began courting Barron on Tate's behalf. He offered dating advice and took him to a tailor who made the suit Barron wore to his father's second inauguration. During a fitting, Barron reportedly spoke with Tate over Zoom. Not long after, Tate used his online following to help Trump Jr. sell a MAGA meme coin. These connections were reportedly all it took to get the White House to intervene and help Tate and his brother escape serious trafficking charges. These extensive MAGA connections show that, as with Jeffrey Epstein, money and violence are key parts of Trump's brand of power and influence. I'll go over exactly how the administration and the right-wing media ecosystem covered up for his crimes in the next part of this series.